Hey everyone. I figured I'd say hello. Also, Spirit was like, say hello to everybody. I'm super excited. I'm not going to be on for very long. Um, but I had this inkling of doing a talk about taking leaps of faith. And there's a lot going on in the world, and I feel like there's also a lot of collective energy of folks trying to figure out how they're going to choose themselves, how they're going to move forward by choosing themselves, meaning like if you want to start a business or if you want to move or if you want to get out in the world and make new friends. There's like this energy of contemplation, and so I figured that I would talk about whatever spirit is going to um, flow through right now for um, a couple minutes. And it's obviously no coincidence that my day went the way that it did, in terms of going with the flow and taking leaps of faith. And it just was like a great reminder of how incredible life can be when you choose to just go, to stop worrying so much. Hi, Brenda in Seattle. Hello, hello. How's the weather in Seattle right now? I haven't been to Seattle in a very, very long time, but I used to love going there. I also used to work for Nordstrom, so I was there quite a bit. But also, I had some friends get married on Whidbey Island, and that place is beautiful. It's like a practical magic dream. How are you all, folks tuning in? Who else is tuned in? Say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And tell me how your day is going. There's a lot of interesting energy. I feel like there's like two collective type of energies out in the world right now. There's like the ones that are super reserved and resting today, and then there's the other folks who are like taking action out in the world, not necessarily like all doing the same task, but there's like these two very separate energies that you can kind of feel going on. Cooler than the last couple of days, but still hot. Yeah. Weather's been hot. It's actually cool here too. It's been like really hot. I got sunburned a couple times. Lame. But how's everybody's energy today? How are you feeling? Um, we talked about the vibe of like astrology and also just heading into a full moon next week, and we were talking about NZ School for the Gifted, and you know who you are, but they were talking about how they feel at ease navigating some of the energetic chaos that is kind of around them. Oh, give me 1 second. Hold on. I forgot to shut my door. And it's about to get noisy out there. Um, Pretty good considering. What's up, all in Tacoma, Washington? Tacoma. See, I feel like for some reason, I don't know if people manifest by state because I feel like every time I go live, there's like um one state. It doesn't like even if I go live at the same time, there's like one state that comes forward and presents itself in multiple people in the live, and it's the funniest thing ever. Um I'm glad that you're doing well. Um but we were talking about, NZ School for the Gifted, and I feel like if you've been doing your healing and your growth and your energy work the last couple months, that it's easier to navigate right now. Like you might be able to feel the energy, but you're not going to be reactive to the energy. But I did want to talk about leaps of faith because spirit was very specific about that and the ancestors. Um, and tell me in the chat too, folks, like, are any of you wanting to take like a big leap in your life or like big is relative, but a leap in your life that you just haven't done yet or you're like thinking about doing and still haven't taken action? I was at um like a later lunch today with a friend and used to work Front Street Grill, Coopville, Whidbey Island. So funny. See, it's like the universe talks in many, many ways. I haven't been there. I don't know where. I can't remember the exact place. I have like a visual map of most places that I go. Um, but I had so much fun on Whidbey Island. So much fun. I was on a ranch or like a farm. You could call it both with horses running around. I think I told that before. That's so funny. But I was with my friend earlier today. I actually ran into another friend at another location, which was kind of funny. Our energies just find each other. She was like, "Oh, I just said your name and magically you were here." It's like, who knew? Um, but they were saying how there was someone in their space who had all these ideas, but they like weren't taking action. And she was like, "I'm ready to take action. I'm taking action. Are you going to take action?" I was like, "I heart you so much." But it's like a good reminder to always surround yourself with people who are ready to take action because when you're in that energy, like if two people or like four people are in that energy, it's like you can take on the whole world. Feel like you do it. Like I'm totally gonna do it. Who's like now all hands are in the pot. And we spent some time walking around doing really fun stuff. Um, Says I am from Port Angeles and it's my second home. Oh, interesting. That's so funny. Who else is tuned in here? I want to know. All of you haven't said hello yet. All of you haven't said hello yet. Um, what have also been your plans today? What kind of trouble did you get in today? What kind of good, aligned, high energy, ethical trouble have you gotten in today? I'm still working on finishing my food, which I also have a title. I have some summer rolls. I will say that I also got garlic fries. No one can take fries away from me ever. Your smile and energy are so amazing. Oh my goodness, thanks. Thanks. I forgot to put up the banner. Hold on, hold on. Let me fix this. That's not what I meant to do. Thank you for all of your amazing compliments. Um, Today's a cabbage day. I also thought I was being really clever with the fourth of bull eyes, but I'm also an activist, so no one can stop me. Let me go back to the comments. Hi, Angela. How are you? How are you? How's it going? Everybody tell me how you're doing. I'm in like a half chatty mood. It's like I'm chatty, but I'm also like waiting. But I think because what the friend that I hang out with, she's like very soft spoken and we're really good at sitting in our own energy. And so we're not the type to like fill the space with empty talking. And so sometimes we'll just sit in silence for a long time while we walk around. Like we both like stood on the corner of a block, like staring at the way the sun was coming through the trees, just like admiring it, just walking in different like directions too, but in the same area, not saying anything. And I was like, this is why we're friends. It was so much fun. Um, good. Got through the day. What does that mean, Angela? Do tell me. Do tell me. Is that little symbol a firework? Looks like a firework with your eyes covered. Rode my motorcycle this afternoon, got out, came back. There enough. Boom. Roundhouse. It will go on to 1 a.m. 1 a.m. They already started. Yeah, they already started here too. Um, it's also why I wanted to come back home because my dogs are here, but my dogs are not skittish dogs with fireworks. Because usually when dogs are skittish, it's an excess of energy, but they're pretty calm because I'm pretty calm. But I just wanted to be here just in case. But also, they should be with someone. Okay, what kind of motorcycle do you have? I have been I love motorcycles a lot. I really want one, and I really want to make one of those videos where it's so fun and I'm riding around in my high heels making sparks on the ground. I really just want it so bad. Every time I see someone on a motorcycle, like I'm not like a Harley person. Like I'm just like those type of motorcycles, like I just no. I want the other one, the high pitched ones. I love those. My sister once, well, because we were watching Fooly Cooly. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the FLCL. And it like made her want to get a scooter. So she got a scooter. And then like I just like looked at it and I was like, could you just get a motorcycle? It was so funny. I didn't even tell the whole point of that story, but it was funny in my mind. That's my energy today. Oh, did you see that one? It's really bright. Yes, sensitive to the noise. Yeah, that makes sense. You're sensitive to energies, and it's very like jarring. I mean, everybody should feel a little off when things are exploding near you. You should not like feel normal about that. And sadly, like, yeah. Anyways, Mom, don't say that. Just don't say it's okay. Just ignore it. Note to anybody who have dogs, when you um have your dogs, if they start acting a certain way, you just ignore it. It's the same kind of thing, like if like because then you condition them to believe that there's something wrong and then they like get into this cycle and then it's hard to get them out of it. But if the rest of the pack is like, no, we're good, they're good. But if you're weird, they're weird. That was a short way of explaining it. But because like dogs aren't meant to be with humans. And so they have to learn human language just like we have to learn dog language. And so in their language, if the leader is telling you that there's something wrong, then people need to like not people, dogs need to react and do what they need to do since they all have different positions in the pack. But if the leader's like, no, nothing is wrong here, then they're like, whatever. That's why they're also calm. But they were like, oh, why is this? Like, don't do that. Um, 2020 GXSR. I don't know why I even asked. Is that one of the ones I like? Come visit. I got a helmet for you and a jacket. What? What? I'll be there. I was literally just telling my friend, there's like this coffee shop that I go to, and there's always like a bunch of people who ride motorcycles in there. Um, and they all park like on one side of the building. And I was like, I'm just gonna put it out into the universe. Someone just take me on a ride on the back of your motorcycle. It will be the best summer ever. Ducati, Honda, Yamaha. How do you say that one? Husqvarna? 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 My late brother sort of collected motorcycles, didn't ride them much though. He liked to put stickers on them and stuff. There was someone at the coffee shop who had a bunch of stickers, roses, there was like a cross, there were like all these things. They were very religious. And they sat down and they like had their Bible and like all sorts of things. I was like, I didn't see that coming. The old Jedi warrior, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, exactly. I'm Native American. Oh, I love that. So it's part of my family. Welcome, family. I love that. You're welcome to also tell the group how your vibe has been today. I know the video says it's taking leaps of faith, but these usually turn into just open chats. And we were talking about motorcycles, and I really want to be on one. I've been, I've been kicking asses and taking names. I love that. In what? Just in life in general, because that's a whole vibe and I love it. I feel like that should be people's vibe, like always. Even if it's like you are kicking ass and taking names in those pajamas resting, healing, right? It doesn't even matter what the circumstances are, but I'm just really curious about what you've been kicking ass at. So you got someone kicking. Oh, Darth, is it Raven? Where are you tuning in from? We had a lot of Washington vibes in here. I'm gonna laugh if you're also from Washington. Need to, oh, I missed this one, Angela. Need to ground. Yeah, stay grounded. Yeah, stay grounded. It's definitely that type of energy. Can you hear that? There's so many. They're just like going off. Suzuki, I can do crowds with since awakening. I'm good. Super empath, so I feel too much energy. Yeah. So just doing laundry. My friend was doing laundry. Um, Now waiting for a dark fireworks show. Yeah, I totally get that. We when we went out to get some food, like I'm a go when the restaurant's not crowded because very similar thing. And it was very nice because there were like barely anybody in there. And then more people did start to come. We're like, we're gonna sit outside. We're both very energetic. We're like, we'll be there. Just letting you know. Then we were like, so great under all the trees, and they had all these cute little twinkly lights grounding ourselves. And then more people started to come. We're like, oh, we need to leave now. We need, and my friend was like, I was like, yeah, I feel you. Yes, I took down some bosses. Wow. I forgot Suzuki. Hey, Suzuki. I really want to ride a motorcycle. I've only taken one motorcycle lesson, but I really want to get my license. I really want to. I I was just so good at it. But then I would get really nervous um during my training, and he was like, "Stop being nervous. Just go." He's like, You're balancing like way better than the average person, just go." And then I would like get in my head and I was like, are you sure it's okay to just go? I was like, I don't think you understand me. There's no in between. Oh, I'm back in the hood for good. Fighting. I love that. I remember so many fourths spent with my brother. Yeah. Um, do any of you have good fourth memories? I don't like to celebrate today anymore. I will spend time with family, but activists, I'm fired up. I love that. My father was Darth Vader. This is so great. Who are you? People on YouTube are very interesting, and I love each and every one of you. I feel like there's a lot of people on this page that are just so unique, and I love it so much. Like a lot of you just own your personality, and I'm just yes. The whole world needs to see you kicking ass, taking names, having a Darth Vader as your father. So funny. Um, but what I was saying about taking leaps of faith, I was like thinking about this passage in um the Four Agreements, right? About the fog and Maya, um, and how easily we can begin to create lies in our lives and then like shame ourselves for it and get stuck in that cycle and not be able to take leaps of faith so that we can go enjoy life. And today was just like one of those really fun days, because if anybody is unsure about the energy right now, like now is the perfect time for you to be saying yes to basically everything. Like just say yes and go. And sometimes it's not going to be as easy as you think it's going to be, like in terms of what you're saying yes to, but that's also because we're in like the pre-retrograde energy and heading into a full moon. So it's going to like really push the limits of what your ego is doing and bring it to the surface. Um, but there was a moment today where I was like, nope. Like, I was like, whoa, ego, shh, calm the fire, calm the fire. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a deep breath and we're gonna get through this. And then it was just perfect. It was like amazing. It was so much fun. Um, but just like another confirmation of why taking leaps of faith look one completely different on everybody and require like a high sense of patience with yourself. And I feel like that's where people sometimes get frustrated of like not um being patient with themselves, of like allowing your ego to release and let go so you can make that decision. I wish I could hear you all. Like I love in our weekly class that I can actually talk to all of you and you like you are there and I could see you. Um I almost died in a bike, but me and my dad went 110 and 10 miles. Yipes! My father almost died on a bike. Luckily, he was wearing a helmet. It split in half on impact. I was walking one night and the fog rose from the earth. I'm saying yes. Yay! Um, it's uncomfortable for sure, but I'm doing it right. It feels so uncomfortable and I love it so much. Like, it's the perfect energy for everybody's manifestations. Like, the more you say yes right now, even though it feels weird, even though it might not look like what you think it's going to look like or feel the way you think it's going to feel like, just keep going. Like, literally keep going. I felt like I was in a movie. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Angela, I'm so happy for you. Who else is saying yes today? What are you saying yes to? Angela, you're welcome to tell us also what you've been saying yes to. Do it for like all of July, but especially this, like from now and the next like 7 days. Say yes to everything. Someone invites you somewhere, just go. I got like this flyer and I was like, I'll be there. I had so much fun. I had so much fun. Um, and I knew it was coming because I kept getting these messages about saying yes. Say yes to the dress even. And I my teacher had actually said like you need to say yes. I was like, okay. Um, and then I was in my spin class and my spin teacher was like, this week it's yes, man. Who's seen the movie? And I was like, okay, understand. Understand, spirit. Um, so yeah, make sure that you are saying yes and having fun with all the opportunities that are coming your way. I love that you love it because I don't really like it, but you inspire me. Yay, I'm so glad. It makes me so happy. Do you know how hard it is for people to say yes to things? Like, so hard. And I realized for a moment when I went to go tell someone something, like, I was sitting there and I was like, "Should I do this? Should I not do this?" I was like, "I'm just gonna say yes, but this is really weird. Why is this going like like this?" I was so in my head, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna wait this amount of time and then call it a day." And I had told someone and their response was very different. I was like, "That doesn't feel right to me." Like, I don't know, I just can't imagine that spirit would have me say yes and then it go wrong. And so I just like sat in my faith in that moment, like wholeheartedly sat in my faith. And I was like, I'm not comfortable. It was like, and then boom, everything amazing happened right after that. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness you always got my back. Whew, you just gotta like move through it, right? Like you're just gonna feel so uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. And I realized too, like, as I was meeting people throughout the day, like, I'm a very happy-go-lucky, joyful person, and, um, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable to see folks be happy, and, you know, someone I was with was like, "I have this energy," and you'll find it too, the more you say yes, the more people are gonna wanna talk to you. And this person came up to me, and you can always tell when it's a messenger, as I've shared on the channel, and they were clear ass a messenger. Like they get really close, they make eye contact, and they talk just to you. They don't care about anybody who's around. And so I was like taking in all of that information. And someone was like, "Oh, that was really weird," and like got really like I don't know, low frequency a little bit about it. Not low frequency, but just kind of like questioning it. Um, and I was like, everything, happens for a reason. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. But like, I'm also used to weird things happening and being uncomfortable. And I also feel like when you're really deep in your spiritual journey, it's easy to it's easy to feel uncomfortable because you're bad at shielding. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, right? Because some people, you you feel uncomfortable because you've been so deep in your spirituality that you've forgotten social skills. Like, I see this with so many spiritual people. They're like, "My energy is exploding," and, like, all these things, and it's like, well, let's work on your shielding, and let's also make sure you get outside and socialize and talk to other humans because, like, you can't stay like that forever. Why are you gonna stay like, you gotta go outside. You gotta go outside. And we had had, like, a long conversation about, like, um, they were being really vulnerable and opening up about how folks were, like, being nice to them, but they, like it wasn't in the way that they're wanting or something like that, and we had the whole conversation about, you know, um, reality reflecting back who you are. And so I was like, "You gotta open your heart space. You just you gotta be available, you gotta be open." Like, when I saw that person come over, I was like, I'm so excited. I was so excited. And they told me something amazing, and I was asking questions, and it's like, if you wanna build a community, you gotta get used to being amongst the community and engaging with people in a really genuine way. But sometimes when people get too like neck deep in spirituality, they forget the rest of the world. And you can't do that. I said yes, taking an astrology tarot class. Um, you don't need to hope, just put it all out there. Just say it's gonna be a really great time. It's gonna be freaking great. Freaking great. You know why? Because you're great and you're gonna put that energy out there and it's gonna be reflected back to you. And if you're wishy-washy, it's gonna be wishy-washy. Before I do something, I'm like, "It's gonna be a great time. Whoa!" And then usually it's phenomenal. I'm going on someone's YouTube channel on Monday to share some of my gifts. Yes, Angela. I'm so nervous. Don't be nervous. What are you nervous about? What are you nervous about? You're gonna have so much fun. Just keep taking these leaps. Keep taking these leaps. Are you nervous about people or are you nervous about being seen? Does it give you gas? Uh, yes. I'm so jealous of how close you are and hear ancestors' spirit, but I know they're with me. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Everybody can do it. Don't be jealous. Also, jealousy is not so good energy to send to someone. But I totally get it. Everybody, it just takes practice. Come to Z School for the Gifted. I can teach you. It just takes practice. That's all. We all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. But just a few changes and repetition. Honestly, the repetition is like the biggest thing and openness to energy because the spiritual realm is all energy. And so when you become really good at mastering understanding how energy works and your physical body and your aura and your soul can communicate energetically, it's like piece of cake. Piece of cake. That's deep. Sorry, I've been through war missions that people would not believe. I just got out of jail. I was in a bus that flipped over. You don't need to say sorry. You don't need to say sorry whatsoever. No sorries here needed whatsoever. I'm glad you are happy and healthy today. Right, fucking awesome. Yeah, you just gotta put that energy out there. Put it out there. I tell my clients all the time, like, certain words to avoid. Um, which it's easy to say hope because hope is something that is so used a lot, and I find myself even saying it, in English vernacular in general, like, be certain. Like, when we're in such an uncertain energy, um that's what we manifest. Be certain. And in hoodoo, it's like we command energy. And so the more clear we are, the more direct we are, the more our energy can manifest it, and the more our mind is on board because it's certain. It's certain. It's like, no, this is the choice that we made. Certain it's done. Just kidding, Ed Murphy. What are you talking about? Are you a comedian? It's a good question. What am I nervous about? I mean, I know I will be great and people will love it. And those that don't are usually just triggered by me. Yeah, but what are you nervous about? That's processing thoughts, but what are you nervous about? We already know what we know, right? But what do you feel like is uncertain, right? Uncertainty brings fear. Had to use words. I was just eating popcorn out of this. It's my favorite popcorn container that I've had for a long time, but it's perfect because I always make too much and I just dump it in here. So great. Someone in my class last week was like, they're like, you just sit back and eat your popcorn as we say all these things, but you already know how it's going to turn out. And I was like, well, my job is not to make you codependent. And at the end of the day, what's going to happen is going to happen. My job is to help lead you to the truth so you know how to navigate your own waters. What, what good would it be if I told you just everything about your life? That's not growth. It's like I'm a teacher. I got to teach you how to survive out there. Jealousy is only felt when the same aspect exists in you, but you just haven't discovered it yet. So you also possess the ability to be close to spirit. You just have to unlock it. Another 48 hours. Crosses. I know it's like the unknown, easiest blockage release. Have to write a book of knowledge. You have a lot of interesting knowledge. falling out right now. What do you want to write about? What kind of knowledge? Darth Vader knowledge? Life knowledge? Fruit knowledge? When are you gonna are you I suppose it is just because it's my first time doing something like this. I only just started sharing, so I guess that's it. Mm, the first time is always worrisome, but only because of the brain, right? But like, how many times have you actually talked to people? There's no difference between talking to people and being online. The conversation that I have with my friend is exactly like this, right? The only reason why our brain freaks out about it and we get fearful is because it's perceived to be different, because the environment is different, right? We're also like trained to feel uncomfortable in new environments because of that's our survival as like humans. It's how we find our way back to safety. But when you're expanding and growing and releasing your ego, you have to do the opposite of what your brain is naturally built to do. So you just keep telling yourself, right? Like, there's no difference between me talking to my friends and talking to someone on here. There literally is no difference. I mean, I can't see your face, but I'm still talking to you. I'm still talking to you. It's the same thing. I don't know if that's helpful, but it is the same thing. I will say, you know, I feel like when it comes to being gifted and sharing your gifts, it gets easier. It gets so much easier. And the more you practice and release your fear, the easier your gifts come out because there's like this subconscious fear of like, depending on what you're doing on your life, like, are my gifts accurate? Like all these things. It's a true acceptance of self and who you are. And so that could also be part of it, like being on video is a very vulnerable thing to do because you open yourself up to people's judgment, but the only way it really affects you is when you have not fully accepted yourself, which means you have room for other people's opinions to come and seep in. But if you're like, no, I know who I is, it doesn't matter what people say, right? You're still going to make decisions and feel good about you being there and still be proud of yourself and celebrate. Get into celebration mode. Like, this is a huge first. What the heck? Just like have as much fun as you can. On this live that I did for my first comic book dub, like none of my stuff worked. It was just great. It was like the best like get your ego out type of thing. None of my stuff worked. And many of them had done voiceovers and they were like, Z, what voiceovers do you have like coming? And I was like, nothing. Right? Just be yourself. And I was like, but I will tell you that I was on a reality TV show, so that's coming. Right? Like just like have fun because people love meeting people in their authenticity, right? Be your bold and beautiful self, Angela. The book of knowledge is not easy to write, but I will give free knowledge of the mind and spirit. It's easy to write if you're in flow, right? Because the knowledge is not yours. None of this belongs to us. So easy is really subjective. Perhaps it'll be easy for you, easier than you think. It sounds like I'm in Beirut. Oh, that makes me sad. Actually, I don't like that thought. Breaks my heart. My friend has family in Beirut. I send everybody love and compassion as an activist. IFM Oracle was talking about walk-in souls. Yeah, walk-ins. The other day, which I know to be true. Yeah, I have walk-ins all the time. They are very much so real. If your frequency is aligned enough, and it is aligned with your destiny, you can definitely many people can have walk-ins. Yes, so true. It is helpful actually. It's just a new environment. Yeah. Yes, being seen, open to judgment is something I used to fear a lot, but I actually love myself now. See? Nothing to worry. You got that love. It's literally just a different environment. When I did this interview, there were so many lights. My ego was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like immediately. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm sweating. And I was like, no, there's no difference between that light and my light at home. It's just a bigger light. Like, I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, I already know these people, but for some reason, it's like the different environment, your brain goes, no. I was like, just sit on the stool and answer the questions. Answer the questions. And then they were like, we're gonna ask you more questions. And I was like, can you see my sweat? It was great. Just lean in real hard, you know what I mean? I'm glad to be free. When I got up at jail, the first thing I did was go down by the river and have a beer. And there was a portal. Cool. Rivers are great for portals. Rivers have good energy. I finally told my husband the truth. I've held him for years about how he conducts in our family unit, and oh boy. Yeah. One, I'm really sorry. I hope you are okay. And please, if you are able to report that, I would 10,000% report it as someone who has experienced abuse. Um, I don't know what state you are in, but definitely, definitely report it if you have not already. If you have not already. Yeah, your safety is important. Um, it's at that point, it's really not about the honesty. It's that other person needs a lot of help. I couldn't locate it, but it was there and freed my souls. So set sail, please make sure you get the help that you need immediately. Yeah, you need to get to someplace safe. Are you still there, set sail? Remember that day? Well, next day I was totally new, like my eyes opened and feeling energy and increased since then. Ah, yeah, energy is strong. Yeah, I mean, everybody's path is different. Everybody's path is different. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm okay for now. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I agree with Fresh One. Time to go. Let us do know if you're safe. I'm going to believe it. Yeah, abuse is a very serious thing. Very, very, very serious. I mean, I applaud you for being honest to be here. Yeah. Um, honestly, and um, with that type of response at sale, um, I wouldn't even try to I wouldn't even try to reason. Um, especially if you are in a situation where you may have been getting gaslit, trying to understand why someone abuses you is not something you want to do ever, because it's a very slippery slope to justifying or empathizing with your abuser. So I do not recommend, like, right now you should be focusing on your safety getting someplace safe, talking to a health professional because you're probably also extremely traumatized, very, very traumatized, and getting the help that you need. Are you able to talk to someone? That's a serious offense, and I'm very, very sorry. But please do not try and understand why someone abuses somebody else as someone who has been abused. It will take you down um, a very scary, scary place. All that matters is that you are alive and you are okay. So please, again, make sure you get the help that you need and that you can safely stay away from that person. Yeah, so sorry, Darth, about that. Yeah, yeah, losing someone is not easy. I hope you are taking time for yourself to heal. Are you taking time for yourself to heal? My condolences on the loss of your sister. Yeah, we send you so much love. There's a lot of interesting energy out right now. Um, there's a lot of shifts in the world and um you don't need to understand it. Set sail and it's not your fault. There is no acceptable reason for anybody to place hands on anybody else. There isn't one. In no circumstance. Like, unless you are physically defending yourself from an attacker, there is no other reason to put your hands on somebody else. I know you don't need to worry about changing the vibe of the live. I'm an activist. So, like, it's important things, and I do believe we're always in the right place at the right time, but you don't need to understand that. There's never a good reason for anybody to do that, and just the fact that they told you that it was your fault also confirms what I was kind of mentioning earlier about being gaslit, because people like that will put you into a glass house and make you believe that your reality is not real. And so you spend time trying to understand this reality that has become almost real because of the abuser. I've been gaslit so many times and was in a deep relationship with someone like that. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. That is an abusive person. And please get to safety immediately. You need to take it seriously. You have to take it seriously. Anytime someone is willing to put their hands on you like that, you also need to be worried about your life. Plain and simple. If they've done it once, they'll do it again. And that's for everybody on here. It's important that everybody take care of themselves and just understand when it is time to go. And it's not always easy to leave, but you have to. And good luck freeing yourself, so yeah. Honestly, like, I'm sending you so much love. Like, please get help. It's not like getting out of an abusive relationship is not easy, but please do it for your safety. Yes, I went by church to sit. You're half angel. Yes, I'm down with us. Yeah. I feel more grounded just hearing this. I wasn't sure how to feel. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I kind of feel like spaced out. Yeah, it's trauma. You're having a very strong trauma response because someone threatened your life. So, and then told you that it was your fault. That is not normal behavior. And so you're having trouble regulating. And so you need to be in a safe space where you can work through this and find a safe way out. Yeah, it's common to feel really spaced out and detached because your body, it's kind of like if you were to get into a car accident, right? Like a lot of people black out or they forget their surroundings because their mind their mind and body are under so much trauma that they need to check out, and like they're preserving like their own mind. Like the mind will do that, right? It's like why so much is buried in the subconscious, or why folks like when they go through healing journeys or go to therapy for PTSD and all these things, like old memories start to come up, right? Like you're detaching because it's safer to not, it feels safe to not have to deal with that just happened, which was awful. So it's a trauma, a really strong trauma response. Yes, you need to, yeah, 10,000% take it seriously. This is your confirmation. Um, it's normal to like have that response. Abuse is not normal. I'm not saying that, but I'm like the response to the amount of trauma that you received, it's normal to want to check out of your full body. When I went through a lot of um my physical abuse, and even during like one of my assaults, I it was like hard for me to even be in my body. Like your body will just release itself to save you, right? To like help you not be traumatized. Um and so it was a quite a bit of a journey to be able to get to a point where I could even receive touch. Like, I'm still kind of like skeptical when it comes to touch and to love, because of the things like what has happened to you happened to me, and we don't have enough resources in the world, or and people don't know how to openly talk about it and normalize like that this happens in the world. Like, I feel like it's very taboo. So I'm glad that you came here to help yourself also. Yeah, set sail. Are you able to, are you someplace safe? Feel free to let us know. Are you someplace safe? And do you have a primary care or a therapist that you can call? I don't know what your time zone is, or what state you're in. Um, and also get like a helpline. So what about being in control of light, dark side? Tuned in, wait, tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Um, what do you mean being in control of it? If you are balanced, you're in control. I don't know if I understand what you're saying. I know. In terms of light, dark side, are you talking about energetically? Like, are you having trouble being in control? Good. You should definitely do that. Please take care of yourself. Um, please take care of yourself. I don't know what you're saying, Darth and Fresh One. I haven't really been paying attention that much because I was talking to this other person, making sure they're okay. Um, I'm gonna head out in like a couple of minutes. I know we got um quite sidetracked, but everything again happens for a reason. So I'm glad we were all here and to have, you know, a discussion. um, I mean, why even put titles on the lives anyways? Because this was not um I appreciate you. I haven't told anyone at all, but I felt the compulsion to say it here, and I'm glad I did. Thank you. I'm really glad that you did. And I'm really glad that you received the help, right? That's why we're here. This is what I always tell people. When you feel the inkling to be somewhere, just be there. You never know what's going to happen. You don't need to apologize for anything whatsoever. Do not apologize for anything. I just want you to take care of yourself. I mean, I put titles on these videos and it's never matching. Like, I don't even know why I put them, to be honest, because whatever is meant to happen is what's going to happen. So, um, I'm really happy that I was here and I'm really happy that you felt called to say something. And I really do honor your vulnerability. Not many people can speak their truth and even say it to a group. So, I'm sending you all the love in the world, and if you need anything, please do let me know. Um, love to you, said Celia. Angela sends you some love too. We're all sending you a lot of love. And again, for everybody, like how you show up in the world is so important. This is why I do content creation so I can help people no matter what it looks like. Um, and this is why it's so important to follow your intuition and be of service. I strongly believe that folks shouldn't call themselves earth angels or light workers or any of those things unless you're actually willing to help at any given moment. Um, because that's what we do. We're not here to sit at home and be complacent because there's people in the world who need help. Appreciate that. Angela, that was sincerely so sweet. This is the first time in days I felt spaced out in days. Yeah. Um, have a good night, Tetsu. Thank you so much for making me feel seen and heard. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are a priority. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. Um, That's good. You should help where you can. Everybody should, no matter what it looks like. If everybody in the world helped where they can or where they could, grammar, the world would be a much more peaceful place, little by little. My teacher likes to say, do your good karma deed every day. Good karma deed, AKA, he also says God mode on. Go love people. Go love people. When we love, everybody can heal. That's what we're meant to do. Some people ask, like, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Most of the time, it's to express a deeper version of love. That's what our gifts are. That's what they are, right? They're to help people. I mean, yes, there are certain folks who feel like, they're supposed to be on stage and all these things, but it always comes down to one thing, love, right? Like Bob Marley. Bob Marley created a lot of peace, a lot of love. And yeah, he was a musician and also an activist and many other things. Um, but first he was also an embodiment of love. And that's why he was able to make the impact he did as a musician and an activist. Sorry for talking. I was actually thinking about getting a dog. Darth, where are you located again? If everyone does only one a day, humanity will never. Well, obviously, it's a phrase to help people remember, considering that most people are quite not tapped in. Wisconsin. Got it. Um, that's why there's people like me, activists, reminding people to go do something good. There's a huge part of the world, but not everybody is as enlightened as you, right? When we can also get everybody to be nice to each other every single day, that is huge progress. Many people like to come into these chats and say random things that are not helpful. We could also encourage everybody to be living. Totally get it. Hi, Juanita. I'm going to head out, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day. Um, and just sending lots of love, lots of hugs to you all. Um, this next Z School for the Gifted is all going to be focused on the full moon, which I'm super excited about, which is in Capricorn. I'm going to release the theme this week, aside from the full moon. This last class, we did a long astral protection meditation to prepare everybody's energy and aura for this retrograde and and bring in their manifestation. So it was a lot of fun. I hope to see many of you there. Keep shining your light, keep loving, keep moving forward. Um, yeah, and I'll see you later. Bye, Angela. Bye, everyone. I'll see you later. Stay real.